In the ever-unpredictable reality show that is celebrity life, Britney Spears just added another headline to her highlight reel, and no, it wasn't a surprise album drop. Picture this. 30,000 feet in the air, Britney casually lights up a cigarette mid-flight like it's 1997 and the plane's a backstage lounge. Cue gasps, flight attendants in full panic mode, and confused passengers wondering if they booked a ticket on Rock and Roll Airlines. In a move that broke both Federal Aviation Administration rules and the internet, Britney's smoky stunt has reignited not just concern, but a full-blown debate over whether post-conservatorship freedom comes with a manual. One thing's for sure, turbulence was not the only thing causing drama at cruising altitude. A flight gone off course. On May 22, 2025, passengers aboard the flight reported a bizarre scene. Britney Spears, accompanied by members of her security detail, allegedly appeared visibly intoxicated when she lit a cigarette while the plane was still in the air. Fellow travelers described the singer as disoriented and confused, a behavior not completely unfamiliar to those who have followed Spears' tumultuous journey over the years. Flight attendants swiftly intervened, requesting she put out the cigarette immediately. According to onboard accounts, she complied without incident, but the action triggered serious protocol. As per federal law, smoking of any kind, especially cigarettes, is banned on commercial flights due to the risk of fire, oxygen interference, and secondhand smoke exposure. The cabin crew alerted authorities, who were waiting for Spears when the flight landed in Los Angeles. Upon touchdown, the pop icon was met by officials and issued a formal warning. No criminal charges were filed, but the event quickly made headlines across social media and news outlets, becoming yet another spectacle in the long and public chronicle of Spears' controversial moments. The Instagram apology that raised eyebrows. The next day, Spears took to Instagram to share her side of the story. In a now viral video clip, she explained her actions, but her explanation left fans and critics scratching their heads. She claimed she found the situation hilarious, noting that she assumed the aircraft permitted smoking because of the odd placement of drink holders, which were located outside the seat's main console. In what many viewed as a humorous but somewhat tone-deaf defense, Spears insisted she wasn't the one who initiated the cigarette. Instead, she blamed a friend, saying it was they who placed the cigarette in her mouth and lit it. While she did issue a light apology to anyone who might have been offended, her tone suggested she wasn't fully aware of the gravity of the situation. To further complicate matters, Spears said she thought the officials waiting at the airport were there to welcome and support her, not realizing that their presence was due to her onboard conduct. This tone-deaf reaction fueled public speculation, not just about the smoking incident, but also about Spears' mental state and decision-making in the wake of her newly reclaimed freedom. From pop princess to public cautionary tale. For decades, Britney Spears has been more than just a pop culture icon. She's been a symbol of the pressures of fame, a cautionary tale of what happens when a young star is thrust into the spotlight with no escape hatch. The incident on the plane struck a chord with many because it echoed familiar concerns from her past, particularly during the period between 2007 and 2008, when her personal life began to unravel in front of a global audience. That era, marked by erratic behavior, public breakdowns, and court hearings, ultimately led to her being placed under a court-mandated conservatorship led by her father, Jamie Spears. Under that legal arrangement, her financial and personal life were controlled for over a decade. The justification? Her alleged inability to manage her own affairs due to mental health concerns. When the conservatorship finally ended in late 2021, following the widely publicized #FreeBritney movement, fans celebrated her newfound freedom. Yet incidents like the one on the May 2025 flight raised the uncomfortable question: was the system that governed her life excessive or necessary? A pattern of concern. This is not the first time Spears has attracted concern since regaining autonomy. Her social media posts, often erratic, captioned with lengthy, rambling monologues, or featuring provocative dancing, have left fans divided. Some view them as expressions of long-suppressed creativity. Others interpret them as warning signs of deeper instability. In light of this latest incident, the public debate has resurfaced. Is Britney truly free, or has she simply been left to navigate a complex world without the tools and support she needs? Mental health experts and legal analysts weigh in frequently, many stressing that freedom and support are not mutually exclusive. A person can be free, yet still require structure and care, especially if they are in the public eye and coping with decades of trauma and fame-induced stress. Celebrity privilege versus safety standards. A critical aspect of the airplane incident is the blatant disregard for public safety regulations. While fans and apologists might write it off as a minor mistake, aviation experts are not so forgiving. Smoking on a plane is not just a matter of etiquette, it's a serious safety concern. Cigarette smoke can interfere with cabin air systems, and open flames in such a controlled environment pose obvious fire hazards. For commercial flights governed by Federal Aviation Administration guidelines, the rules are non-negotiable. The fear, of course, is that Spears' celebrity status might insulate her from consequences that an average traveler would face under the same circumstances. Had someone else lit a cigarette mid-flight while visibly intoxicated, the outcome could have involved fines, removal from future flights, or even arrest. The public reacts. Again, social media did what it does best: absolutely erupted. Think digital fireworks, but with more hashtags and hot takes. Some users were ready to cancel her over the cigarette, while others lit their own metaphorical torches in defense. The reactions ranged from "she needs help" to "let the queen breathe." Faster than you could say "oops, she did it again." TikTok psychologists began diagnosing her via lip sync. Twitter turned into a courtroom, with Britney's fate being debated in threads longer than a CV's receipt. Fans split like a boy band in the early 2000s, some begging people to stop exploiting her every mistake, others demanding she get a life coach, a therapist, or maybe just better friends. A few questioned whether she's truly free, or just lost in the deep end of freedom without floaties. The debate got so layered, it could have been a Netflix docuseries. Even people who hadn't followed her since Toxic suddenly had strong opinions. In the court of public opinion, Britney isn't just a pop star, she's an emotional Rorschach test. Britney's road ahead. Britney's life has been more plot twisty than a soap opera written during a Red Bull binge. From Mickey Mouse Club to mid-air cigarette drama, she's done it all, and somehow, we're still not sure if we should be clapping or calling someone. Stardom before adulthood. Check. Decades under a fame microscope. Double check. Now she's flying solo literally and metaphorically, but freedom, it turns out, doesn't come with an in-flight safety manual. Was the smoke in the cabin just nicotine or a flare for help? Nobody knows, but it's clear that healing doesn't follow a neat playlist. Britney's next move could be a graceful pirouette or another Instagram post that leaves fans whispering, "Is she okay?" Will she rise like a phoenix or just set off more airport smoke detectors? Whatever happens, Britney's journey is still boarding, and the whole world's watching from the gate. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the skies with Britney, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another celebrity saga. Got thoughts on this smoky situation? Drop them in the comments. We're all ears and a little bit of drama. Until next time, keep your seatbelt fastened and your tea piping hot.